Anyway, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Kusho Shinzo, and I'm sitting here with my buddy, Tactical Trigger Trooper, and we're going to go over some stuff that I have found in Gray Zone Warfare that you have probably missed. Tactical hasn't seen this footage. This is stuff that I put together that I want to talk about. He's going in blind, so this should be more fun. So, why don't you say hi to everybody, Tactical?
For sure. What's up, guys? We're about to have a very fun one here. Because Shinzo also is going to get some very great insight for this video, as well as you, the viewer. So let's start that video clip up, shall we?
All right, so right off the rip, it's not going to take long. I'm literally going to pause it almost after. So, the first thing that I noticed after going back through all this footage is there is a backpack sitting right here on the ground.
Yeah.
It
I
looks,
feel that's what you were going to point out.
yeah, it's, which I want to point out a lot of loose loot, at least that I think is loose loot or lootable containers. But this backpack in particular, I noticed, and it seems like something that would be like a backpack you can pick up and wear.
Yeah. Could be kind of like the duffel bag from Tarkov too.
Yeah, just a
'Cause, I
lower
mean,
end.
you can't shoulder the duffel bag from Tarkov though. But this looks like you could possibly pick it up. I just don't like how the arm deals are kind of like stiff.
Yeah,
That kind of looks unrealistic.
but I mean, it is pre-alpha, so there's some
Yeah, yeah.
leeway. And something I will point out real quick is this symbol right here. I don't know what this symbol is, but it has to, it is, so there's a few symbols we see here that are going to line up into some
Kind
big
of looks like a
organizations.
medical.
I'm not sure what it is. I can't read the
Kind of looks like
language.
a plus on the center portion.
Yeah, so we will just have to see in the future if it actually does pertain to anything. But I have some theories later that we're going to discuss to see if it all points in the right direction. But anyway, let's go just a little bit further forward, and I'm going to be pausing here again in just a sec. Something we got pointed out is this crate right here. You didn't notice this crate
That's
at the beginning. It's
ammunition.
yeah, it's ammunition crate, 7.62 PS.
Dude, that is a huge ass fucking latch on there though. That's like unrealistic. Holy
Eh,
shit.
I don't know. But I was talking to somebody who is from Poland, and he said that the WZ.43, he believes this is a Polish ammunition crate. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was
Yeah.
told. But on top, you do have these look like lootable containers right here. I'm not sure if they are.
Yeah.
There's two of them on top of the crate, bottom right. And whenever you walk in here, you're going to notice this hat sitting right here. This hat also looks like it would be a lootable item. And the only reason that I came to the conclusion of that is we're going to see another hat later on. I don't know if it's anything. It's just a hat. It's just a lootable item. But we see another hat later on that definitely looks like it's a lootable item. And speaking of lootable items, if you remember while watching the video, you had the water bottle in your inventory. Well, there's a water bottle sitting right here that somebody picked out, so it looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Lootable water bottle.
Yeah.
I love the detail though. Really
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
point that out. That's
Yeah.
severely good. I was worried in the beginning before seeing anything because all the trailers are just the jungle. Yeah, awesome. The jungle looks wonderful. But if there's not many POIs, and for you that don't know what POIs are, that's points of interest. If there's not many points of interest, which there's a shit ton of points of interest in this town. But if those POIs you can't go inside them, that's ass. And if you go inside them, and they're not like furnished, like this is here, that's trash. And I
Yeah.
I feel they did a wonderful job here, and it's gonna be really a real good story to tell within each little location because it's so filled. Like, who's this person on the wall?
Oh yeah, see,
Stuff
we
like
did talk
that.
about this. We talked about this picture. They said it was a very interesting picture, and that we were actually wondering where that picture came from. There
That's
might be a
probably
story
realistic
behind
from
it. Yeah.
Vietnam. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it is based in Laos,
Yeah.
so I don't know. We will see. But I'm point out real quick, there is a energy bar here, or one of the food
Chocolate.
breakfast bars. One of the small things. Got a few things to look at in here. Not too much. We do notice something. I can pause it right here. This right here, we don't know what this is, but now that I have it in 4K and able to look better, I don't think it's really anything. We thought it was an ammo box to begin with. Like how if you remember in Tarkov how the 7.62 PS ammo looked like. I don't know if that's an ammo box, but it might be.
Could be.
And if I can go back just a little bit. And then right here, you obviously have something. I don't know what it is, but whenever we saw this the first time we were discussing it, almost looks like it would be a belt for your rig.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not standing out too much,
Yeah, it's a little dark.
but there's the book again,
Yes,
just
the
to
roadside
say,
picnic.
yeah, it's got to be aliens, bro. No, can't be aliens.
Okay, and I'm gonna stop right here. Everybody was asking where the painkillers were during the meds yesterday. You have a pack right here.
Ah, yeah,
So
that's
painkillers.
100% lootable.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's exactly what that is. Just painkillers. So we do have confirmation of that, which is lovely. Another lootable crate, possibly. Oh, nope. Let me back that up just a little bit. If you look right here, you have an H bandage.
Quite a few, quite a few lootables.
Yeah, and here's a better look at that crate. We don't know if the bottom one's gonna be lootable unless you're gonna like have the ability to pick this crate up and move it. But we do think that this is gonna be a lootable crate.
Just got to point out the textures here. This is insane, and something I would like, realistic wise, in the future. I don't want to be able to go up to a crate and unrealistically open it. These you could see have latches. I want to be able to pop these latches and
Oh,
open
dude, that
this
would be so
crate.
dope, especially with the sound key on them.
Oh yeah, pop.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking.
And
That'd
you
be
want to talk
nice.
about detail? Something that's never really been done in the game to a full scale is like the stuff on the floor. I don't know, a cigarette butt or a piece of trash. They all have shadows.
Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
it's small detail, but most of the time you would just see it, and it would just be a static mesh that's a part of the ground. And in this case, it's not.
That's that Unreal Engine working for you.
Yep. Okay. So, and here is one thing I did want to talk about when it comes to the lore of Resin Warfare. So if you notice the task that they were on or the mission that they were given, they had to get the thug's phone, and so that was the mission. And if you look here, these crates look like they come directly from the UN. I mean, it does say UN LRA on it. I can't tell if it's an R, but it looks like an R to me. It might be LEA, but it's definitely an L and an A.
That's UN symbol all around.
Oh yeah, so it would make sense that a thug is storing supplies crates and hoarding them that were supposed to be distributed to the people who were still here. And that's why this symbol here, and there's a few more, which it's this symbol is just on all these crates. It's not just everywhere, but you will see a symbol, and you will see a few of these in quite a few key locations. And now, one thing we were talking about is the grid system. People were asking or saying, I thought the map was going to be bigger. We're going to see a bigger view on the map here in a little while, but this is at a zoom 8 times. And we were discussing how big the map was and how big this town was. And my conclusion was that each square that we see right now in the times 8 is 100 meters. And for whenever we see the zoomed out one, those squares will be 1 kilometer.
Yeah, I concur with that also.
It's going to be interesting though, because and there's some points I want to show out later, because maybe we see the LZs and they don't showcase too much. What was that bandage? Okay, so it's just called a bandage. And there's that hat. We will see more here in a few about the bigger size of the map that I definitely want to talk about. That's going to come up in the future. And I want to point out, so if you see in back here, this is also another bandage, and there's something else right here. We haven't been able to...
Looks like a soda can.
Yeah,
like
that's what we were
can
thinking.
From, Tarkov green
but we
tea.
don't know. Yeah, whenever he goes over here, you're going to get a very shit view of it. And it does look like a soda can, but it looks too long, unless it would be, as much as I don't want to say this, if it was a 40, it makes sense.
Yeah. Just look how realistic that was, bro.
Oh, yeah.
This game's gonna be so dope. It's not even funny.
So, my opinion
He
was...
pulls that off and pumps it? Bro. I didn't even know that's what you had to do to get blood into you, like that.
Yeah, so I've got a feeling that with these, what did they say? Does he look at his inventory when he pulls it out, or does he use the menu?
He uses the use, not
Okay.
inventory.
Okay. So I had an opinion that whenever you get these, that they're not going to be full of blood. You will have to fill them up with your own blood.
Probably
do you-
at main.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing though. I'm pretty sure the guy whose feet you see right now dropped it to him.
Yes.
So I would love to see blood types. Like character menu, you might want to all choose the same blood type. You know what I mean?
Who's to say it wasn't randomized though?
Yeah, that too. Isn't there like a one of them that's like O negative or something like that that you could take like multiple different blood types? That would be OP.
No.
If you would have that.
Yeah. O negative is a universal donor. Only reason I know that, I'm O negative myself
universal
personally.
donor.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody is able to take O negative blood. But O negative can only take O negative.
Oh yeah. See, what happens if this dude's the medical guy, right? He filled up all his blood into these blood transfusion fucking deals. I can't think right now. But and then he became the medical personnel for the
See, we were talking
for this
about
board,
that,
you know?
and I tried to go back and find it. There is a small portion I actually didn't include in part of this. It wasn't something I thought we were going to talk about in depth, but there is a portion where somebody has their UI open. I actually might have that in here, where you do see their blood level tick up. So let me see if I can go back.
And again, this
to-
might just be something that's in the future, you know. It'd be a cool little aspect, I think, realism wise.
Oh, yeah.
They're going for a realistic shooter, looter shooter. Or you know,
Yeah, but
I
with
didn't even notice he was doing a blood deal too.
Yep. So if you do have to fill these, it would make sense since the blood, or since your blood counter does take up, or how much blood that your character has, that you would fill these. You would have to spend the amount of blood that you have within your own character to fill these up, and that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Be very interesting if that is actually the way it is. Oh, and the gun sight, or the part that I loved about this, there's two things in this video, or this part of the clip, that I don't want to discuss. One thing we're gonna notice is whenever this dude's shooting, you notice the guy is shot off over. We were sitting there and talking about the reason why that was. Now, you're gonna see here in a second, this guy's gonna be shooting and the bush is gonna be moved. He was just far enough in front of his buddy. He was getting washed out by his friend shooting.
Yeah.
Basically, how suppression is. We started talking about that more and more, and it started to make more sense. Is he was just getting a whole bunch of gas, or the gas from the barrel blowing into his face, and that was screwing up his vision and stuff, which makes a lot of sense because you're going to see him shooting, and this bush is going to move, which I do like that like that feature in the game.
Very.
Now, one thing that I really enjoyed, so we already seen the video of the Dev Update 3 about how the ballistics works. I don't know if that's in this part or in the game already. I imagine it is, and the reason I think that is because if you notice whenever you get shot in the head, if you look up in the left corner up here, you're going to see the where the bullet actually ricocheted into the truck. You see the sparks.
Oh.
And whenever we were discussing that, somebody had pointed out, which I'm not 100% sure, and I actually don't think it is, because now that we can see it in 4K, but he thinks that this point here, and this point here is where that bullet fragmented and hit the truck.
Yeah, so you have fragmentation on the actual objects within the game.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. Oh, well, I didn't go back far enough. But yeah, you can definitely point out the sparks that happen over here after he gets very interesting and cool to see.
Yeah, I see that now. Could be.
And we were discussing guns within the game, and one thing that I pointed out and that I absolutely love that's in the game is you see a scorpion sitting right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that too.
yeah, that was one of my favorite things, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, if there's anything in this game that I realistically want to dual wield which, granted, you're probably not gonna be able to dual wield anything in GZW, and I'm fine with that because it's unrealistic. But that would be the gun I would want to have two of.
That'd be nasty.
Okay, and so now this is the area where we're going to start getting more into the lore, because we have seen this symbol all over the place. There's a lot of key things here in this area I would like to chalk up. That's going to be a lot to do with the lore of GZW. So this tag you see on the wall, we see it absolutely everywhere in the video.
That's got to be something with the bandits.
Yeah,
And
so
their tag, so you know who's controlling the area.
yeah, whose territory it is, and that made a lot of sense to us. We don't know what other factions are going to be within GZW to the fullest extent. We do know that there's going to be an AI faction. We don't know anything about it, and who's to say that the group that they showcase, or the AI that's showcased within this video, is actually a part of that? Because we went and picked up a Thug's phone. It's obvious that the people who are controlling this area are just thugs.
Yeah.
They're just habitants who have stayed after the evacuation and wanted to take control of this area, and we're going to see more to do with them in the future possibly, and how in depth that gets, or are they not a major part of the story and there's a bigger picture behind it further into the gray zone that we get.
Yeah, could be.
Seeing it's funny, this area you're gonna see there it is. You see this box again. Same symbol.
Yeah.
And if you have noticed, or anything they have showed in GZW, they don't typically copy and paste.
It looks like kind of a different size.
I don't know if it's a different size.
Could be wrong.
And right here, we don't know what is lootable out of this, if any of it's going to be lootable. But
yeah.
So we were talking about this big crate here, and somebody had said, well, what if that's what the generator came in? So scroll back just a hair. You're going to see this generator right here.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. That generator's too big for that to be in that crate, but we might see more equipment crates like that. I could possibly see some we'd have to destroy later on. Somebody said these look like ration tins. This looks like a equipment's crate, and these look like weapons crates. And I would have to agree with it. I don't know if any of those are lootable. It doesn't really look like they are right off the bat.
I just want to know, can you go in this house?
Oh yeah, no, you know you can go in this house. This is the house where they.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Now, one thing I would like to point out is something that I missed, especially the first time watching this video. And I'm sure quite a few other people did as well. So the UI where we see open, close, unlock, and kick. He actually kicks the door in this.
Yeah, I literally just screenshotted that one earlier for a thumbnail, but look at the way he kicks it. There's a delay.
Yeah. I mean, pre-alpha, it still needs work.
But dude, the detail in here, like, might I add again, this is nuts. And the lighting.
Oh yeah.
I feel the lighting may be just a little bit too dark in that room there, but it's really well done. Very great execution. Can't wait to see what tomorrow holds.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. So, and if you see here, we do have this tag again over on this truck, which, I mean, granted, if you watch this video, you're gonna see this tag
I could barely
everywhere.
See that.
Oh
I would have thought that was dirt.
Yeah, no, this tag is all over this town. If you go back and watch the 23-minute video, I mean, if you're paying attention, you're literally just gonna see it everywhere. That's why I wasn't gonna point out every specific part that I've seen this in. This video would be an hour long. Just talking about that, it's literally everywhere. You just got to be looking for it. And this crate here, right here, there was a lot of debate on this crate. We actually believe is going to be one of the lootable crates in the game.
Yeah, that looks like a good lootable crate right there.
Yeah, it's in a perfect position. It looks like I mean, It looks like it would be something you can loot. So if it looks like it is, it probably is.
Yeah, I agree.
And now something else that that just
Water
barely we
barrels
caught the crates.
on the end
Remember
over
the
there. Yeah,
Ewing
blue tape.
crates? Yeah, we had barely caught these because they only show them for just about a second. But yeah, you do see more of these blue crates over here yet again at another place where we got intel.
Yeah, that's a really great find. That might be a tall tale sign that mission specific where you have to go and grab intel may just be where these UN crates are.
Mm,
It's not a coincidence. I mean, if we go through the video some more, and we might find some more stuff where it might be at another location, but who's to say that's not a later mission?
I'm
You
not.
know?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. Now that I think about it, any time that you see these throughout the video, which is
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I don't remember seeing these anywhere besides the house where we got the thug's phone and this building where we got the convicts notes.
100%.
Oh, and so this is the notification you're gonna see for the LZ found along with experience points.
Oh, for finding the LZ.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had missed that a few times while watching it. Someone actually pointed that out to me. Granted, it's towards the end of the video, or they're just walking through a jungle, not a whole lot's going on, so it's not something that I was really thinking about. And what about here? You should stop, pull up the map. Okay, so this is where we really get into the nitty gritty of what's going on with this map. So
Yeah, have
to
to pay
bring up
attention here, guys.
yeah, to bring up the small topic I was talking about over the small squares being 100 meters and the big squares being a kilometer. This is what I was getting at. At 0.21 zoom, I don't expect these squares to get any bigger, even at 1.0 zoom. That's why I was thinking that these squares were going to be 1 kilometer each, and somebody was talking about they thought the map would be bigger. Well, this is the biggest portion of the map we've seen so far, and if each of these squares, this one square would be 1 kilometer squared, you're looking at 42 of these squares for the total map.
Yeah.
It's a lot to go. And now this is the first time we are seeing the gray zone and the different aspects of it. And just based off an estimation, I don't know what the other side looks at, but I mean, if we just took this and doubled it, my conclusion just at looking at this is the gray zone is going to be 12 squares total, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 wide, and you do see it stretch into 2 overs. So I'm guessing it's going to be the main area is going to take up 4 squares. It's going to stretch out 2 squares past that, so it's going to take up total square 12 total square kilometers, in my opinion. But that's just a guess. That's my theory on it.
I'm gonna call it ground zero just for reference because it states in the middle there that it is ground zero.
True.
But yeah, basically that's what I wanted to cover mainly, and I was hoping you was gonna bring this up. But to me, with the big emphasis on ground zero, and the event that caused this issue in Le Mans to the point where the UN had to evacuate everybody and all, dude, that's 12 squares. Yeah, I see more like probably half that, and I'm talking about the real middle portion. The middle portion where it's dark red is probably roughly around 4 squares total.
Oh yeah, no,
From what I see.
I
That's
agree with you on that. I'm just saying that the area in which so whenever I'm saying 12 squares, it's going to reach 12 squares.
yeah,
But for everybody who's not going to see in this 4K, I recommend you go look at the 4K footage because I'm only going to be posting this video in 1080p. I apologize. That's just the way I've got my recording set up. My computer is not that great. But you can see that there are darker areas that are lined out like a topography map
yeah,
on altitudes, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that we can see that keep getting darker in each section.
yeah.
And I have a feeling like that's what I'm saying by 12 squares. That's going to be the area in which you're going to have specified gear to go into because we don't know if it's poison, radiation, chemical, whatever it is, but you're definitely gonna have specialized gear to go within that area.
And might I add that it looks like a strict jungle. I mean, I'm sure there's POIs there. There has to be,
Oh yeah.
besides the ground zero location itself. But physically, you can't see it from the map. So it's possibly going to be hidden locations like bunkers, stuff like that. Which man, I really hope they do have. But back to the whole four squares deal with the middle zone portion itself. I feel personally that is way too small.
Um,
I'm not sure. To
so
me it feels small.
let me throw this at you. There is, so do I imagine there's a point of interest that's above ground? Yes, within the zone. I say there's probably going to be a full town there, or a small town, maybe the size of Nam Thaven, if that's how you say that correctly. But don't forget, we did see a picture not too long ago that I believe it was ShowXR had showcased in one of his videos of what looked to be an underground bunker. You remember seeing the hazmat suits on the wall? I've got a
Yeah, I
feeling
had
that
pointed those out.
I've got a feeling that a good portion of what's going to be in Ground Zero might be underground.
Yeah. I can definitely concur with that. But
And
in his video, he didn't speak about the hazmat suits. And I think it was the second Insights video that I did for Inside Gray Zone.
yes,
I had pointed out the hazmat suits, and I really think the event has something to do with chemical warfare. Can you wear those hazmat suits? I'm not sure. Another thing I want to point out, so obviously our base camp, we have Nam Thaven as our main town here, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then to the left we have Fort Narth or whatever. And
Nerith.
then to the right we have Tiger Bay. So just pretend we zoomed out right now on the map. And we have another faction. To their right is Fort North, and then to the other faction, to their left is Tiger Bay. I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at here, map wise, and how big it is. So basically, I would say to get to PvP right away, it probably won't be that hard if you wanted to huff it there. You know,
I don't think
obviously,
you're gonna have to. Well, I mean, after you get the point or
hoof it.
the
Yeah,
LZs, oof it.
yeah,
So this is something I was wanting to point out. So if you notice right here, you have YBL-1.
yeah.
So with Fort Nerith being where it is, we don't see LZs, but they did say that there will be LZs that you will have to discover. We just seen that with LZ Bravo 3. I've got a feeling that YBL-1 is going to be one of the LZs for Fort Nerith.
Could be.
So that would be a little hint or a teaser. It could be a specific location, or I don't know, what would you label YBL-1? Could be a bunker. But I personally, I believe just by seeing it, the first thing that pops in my head is, hey, that's probably going to be an LZ that we're going to have to get. And
I feel you're right about that.
yeah, it's something that I've still been thinking about. I don't know what else it could be. I could see that being an LZ. I mean, this area over here could be an LZ. This area over here, because if you notice, they've got them kind of just around the town. I don't imagine there's gonna be more than 3. There might only be one. This might be the only LZ. They could have 2, 3, 4, maybe depending on the size of the town.
Yeah.
But to back up the conversation too on where the other factions are going to be, somebody was talking about there being fobs and how this is just a base camp. And if you notice on the grid, we're starting out at 11. So if it's 42 kilometers squared, you're looking at a 24 by 24, or not 24 by 24. That's 48. 21 by 21 grid size or grid square sized map. Granted, I'm sure it's not going to work exactly that way on the map. But we're starting up here at 11. There's definitely more that goes back. This is just a base camp. This isn't the forward operating base. Somebody had asked the devs on that in chat. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can find it for everyone to see on YouTube. If I can't, I'm sorry. If I can, I will post it here for you to watch in the video. But they were saying that this is not a forward operating base. This is just a base camp. So I don't know how that's going to work, but I do have a feeling that this is just one of the base camps, and there might be several. I'm not sure how that's going to work though. But hey, maybe we'll find out more Friday with the other streamers and YouTubers who are going to showcase this.
I think they might not even be able to show the whole map. That's the
Oh,
only
probably
thing.
not.
They might be under NDA to not show the full map, which honestly I think that would probably be better. I just want to see their main gameplay to focus on that and what they think. You don't want to have information overload, you know. You want there to still be some mystery up
Oh
until
yeah,
release, pretty much. I would like to see, if not this week, hopefully next week, a not guaranteed release date, but a time frame, I guess, for a time frame update, just to figure out exactly what they're thinking now. What are we delayed? A month, 2 months, 3 months? What they're looking at?
yeah. Hopefully we can find
How
something soon.
polished? How polished is the game at the moment? Which to me, it's dude, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie about that. It definitely looks good.
So your notice and a small little thing whenever they call for the transport. He clicks on base camp.
Yeah.
Which is base camp B. This is why I think there's multiple base camps.
Yeah. What? That's a good point out.
Yeah, it's
So, man, perhaps. I mean, dude, they did say 42 kilometers. So,
but we also know there's going to be multiple LZs.
so base camp B, you know what that reads to me as?
Hmm.
And
there's at least an A.
no, this like as in an A, you're talking about if you would zoom out the map, it would be down south more. The A base camp.
It could be further to the left or further to the right for all I know. It's just an assumption.
So base camp, I'll tell you exactly what this is. If you zoom out of the full map, base camp B, there'll be 3 of them, and that's per faction. Base camp A is more than likely the top left, and base camp C is more than likely the top right. And it goes A, B, C, which doesn't make sense to me. You would think it would jump from A to B on the other side, and then this would be camp C. But it's all with how you're looking at, directionally. See, I don't know what north is right now. Do you see a compass?
There is a compass if we go back. Just actually,
Yeah, we kind of see
I'll
which
come.
way
Yeah,
he's looking right now. So
I'll let it play here in just a second. We'll look at that.
yeah,
But before we do that, so
let's come back to that after.
yeah, so base camp B, friendly base. So you've also got the tag of friendly, so you'll be able to see
Yeah.
other bases after I'm guessing you discover them, or maybe they'll just be on the map. Considering technically other factions aren't enemy factions; they're just opposing factions. So we might see whether or not we can even go to them, or if they're going to be hostile. So we do have a tag here. Someone said this was longitude, and I don't think that this is the longitude altitude code. It's too long for that. It could be in a weird sense that I've not seen it before. If somebody can make sense of it, I think it's just a placeholder, a tag. But if you notice, he clicks on the base camp to call transport, and it automatically goes to the closest LZ that they are at. I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but that's currently the way it is, and that I thought that was interesting. And then whenever he calls, yeah, okay, so we do see he's facing almost due north, just 30 degrees off due north. But back it up just a hair after he calls that. One thing I do want to point out: so you do get a time on how long it's going to take for that transport to arrive to you.
2 minutes, which brings in another good question. Someone had I think it was Luna that said, yeah, they could just spawn the helicopter, but I think it should be in real base time. You know, so the further you get into the map, then the longer you got to wait for the LZ pickup. You know.
Well, don't forget that we don't know if there is only one helicopter per base or if there's only one helicopter per faction. You might be queued on when you're getting that helicopter.
Yeah.
So it could be 10 minutes before your helicopter arrives, and you got to decide: do you want to wait, or do you just want to go ahead and start walking back towards base?
I had spoke about that in the in part 2 of the Inside Gray Zone series 2, where will you be waiting? You know, will you be at your main and there's only 2 helicopters running around on the map?
Yeah.
And since we're only opposing factions, is these are these helicopters third party contractors or whatever, where there's only a total of 6 or something on the map, and they got to run back and forth to the other opposing factions' bases. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
I
I
doubt that's
wouldn't.
the case. I'm pretty sure it's your helicopter, your base specific, but who knows, dude?
Yeah,
I mean,
I I
this is a
mean,
total new genre of game that they are delivering here. It's
oh
gonna be
yeah,
wild.
everybody wants to compare it to Tarkov or Arma or Stalker, and I'm over here like I would compare it closer to Arma than anything else myself personally. But the genre they're putting this in doesn't dignify it. They're literally making their own genre for a game, in my opinion, that's not out yet, and everyone's officially going to see like, hey, this is nothing like anything we've ever played before, and I can't wait for it.
And that's the thing. So I know there's a 7-year outlook, but look, let's just say, so you have, like what I was saying before, you have Nam Thavan as your main town base that's closest to the base. There would be technically 3 more main. I mean, with how the if it's split into thirds, so there'd be 2 more main town bases besides, the main ground zero portion. So let's just say 3.
Hmm.
If they wanted to expand the map, all they would do is make this a more central location where we are right now and move the base camp back by like another few kilometers or few squares, and then add in more towns. And then say this is now considered a semi red zone, in Namthaven, Fort Narith, and then Tiger Base. You know what I'm saying? And then expand on the zone ground zero portion itself. They could do that indefinitely,
Well,
you know.
I mean, so to I mean, expanding on the basis of the map, do you? I also remember that this is an island, and well, exactly where it is in the world being based off Laos. There's other islands around it, so if they want to expand the map, they could also, I mean, different island chains.
Yeah, that too. And you're inserting via helicopter. So I mean, you could reach that
Oh
realistically.
yeah, and I mean with other island chains, it could also introduce the arrival of boats coming in the game. But I mean, this is just us theory crafting. But something else to think about is we don't know what the ground zero is, but if it's a chemical or a nuclear disaster or whatever's going on here, you could have events that would happen throughout the time of the server. There could be a chemical spillover from, I don't know, say the lore or a new addition to the game, and all of a sudden, like Fort Nerith is now, you can't go to that zone. It's overran by the better AI, and not only that, you have to have specialized gear because it's the chemical spill there or something.
There's a few screenshots out there where obviously there's going to be a drug trade, and I mean, somebody's got to be a warlord, in this drug trade.
Oh
But
yeah, money.
if they're going for like some realistic stuff here, they could easily have AI transporting goods and whatnot. Who says that has to be by car? Who knows? Maybe it was also an EMP event, that took out some of the cars in the area. Who knows, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of
But
factors that can go in this.
they could be moving chemicals or something, and then all of a sudden there's a chemical spill, and then you have to do a mission where it goes mark that location, something like that.
Yeah, and monsoon season. Whenever, because they did say there was going to be their weather in the game eventually, and they did say that Laos is very prone to flooding in the monsoon season, and that we're probably going to see that here. So that has me thinking. They said a lot of the routes that we would typically take to places would be flooded and not
Yep.
accessible or easily as accessible. We do think we're going to be able to swim, depending on your character's weight and everything you're carrying, because you do have your second gun slot on your back. I do think that your primary weapon would have to go on your back for that to happen. So you couldn't be carrying 2 primaries at the same time, but that's a guess. And it all comes down to how heavy you are, if you can swim or not. That's depends on how much you were carrying with your the weight of your armor, your rig, ammo, all your supplies that you need. It's hopefully that's something we see soon. I mean, it's a small
Um,
detail, but it's one of those that it is important.
I would advise everybody, once you do step foot into the map, notice the low spots, because those are the spots you're not going to be able to traverse
Oh
very,
yeah,
very soon. I'd,
and
I'd say monsoons within 2 to 3 years. If it's later than that, I mean, whatever is what it is. That'd be the only thing that'd be different. I mean, not so much. Tarkov, I can't really remember just in relation to them because everybody wants to compare it. I think Tarkov was roughly 2 to 3 years before they had rain. You know, the unbearable rain
I
where you can't hear shit whatsoever. It's
don't even remember
ridiculous.
that. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, it's not going to be that. I mean, granted, monsoon season is. I do have a feeling it's going to be loud. I mean, it would be in real life though. Look at the region we're in. A lot of the roofs are tin. It's going to be hard to hear.
My other comparison I can make is look what they accomplished in 2 fucking years.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's all
Coming
I'm
from
gonna
a
say. I'm
yeah.
just leaving it like that,
Hey,
straight
look,
up. Look what they
all I'm
accomplished in
saying
a
is
year.
this is pre-alpha, and there's other companies out there that would already be asking for our money and calling this a beta stage.
Oh yeah, there's already companies doing that right now.
And,
I mean, go watch Big Fry's videos, right?
you know, we all seen what happened to the day before.
Yeah. And
And
what's about to happen with another day before? Not
Oh,
referencing this game, but
what was that? What was that called? So something Project Elite. Yeah, no, and don't. Anyway,
Roger. Raven's in the air and heading to Bravo 3.
okay, so he's pointing northeast right now.
yeah.
Yeah, northeast.
So when he pulls it back up, you do see the timer go down. He is going to look at his character and eat some food. And so what I was saying on blood. So you start up with 5,500, and I guess I didn't grab a clip of it, but there. This does go up over a period of time.
You know, one thing I want to point out, I'd like to see, so just taking into consideration, let's just say this mission, they were there for 35 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hydration is, to me, an unrealistic indicator.
Oh, okay. So to point this
because he's
out,
almost out.
yeah. So we never see his inventory before the mission starts, and if you remember on what they had said, it took them several times to run this mission to get this footage because somebody always died. We don't know if his hydration was already low to begin with.
Yeah, I'd assume that I mean there were a few cutscenes where they cut to a different person, but I'd say this was they do it from a full run, I would think. A full run, because this is pretty much flawless and unedited. I think it started from where they started at.
Yeah, but you don't see them gear up. You don't see them do anything.
No, yeah. You don't
So
see that, but I'd say that 9 out of 10, whenever you do a base restart, say somebody died and they just clicking the restart button,
mhm.
it brings them straight back to that location, full everything.
That's if they have
Maxed
a
out.
restart button implemented.
Yeah, I mean, I'd assume to speed things up, but who knows? You're right.
Yeah,
Who
I mean,
knows?
this
But
is the point of view of Mara, and the only other time that we see his inventory system, his hydration was already at 40. So between them getting the thugs phone, and now it's only gone down about 20. So that leads me to believe that they did Mara at least did not already have full hydration at the beginning of this raid, but he does have water on him, and he hasn't used any of it.
yeah, it is what it is. We'll see. You know, I mean, it's not like it really matters.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting to
We've
me
seen
though,
multiple drinks and foods at the town. So
yeah, one thing that's interesting to me though is so he is wearing a AMP 12 backpack. It's a decently sized backpack, but it's also it's a fastback, or just a light rucksack or whatever you want to call it. It's not meant to carry a whole lot. It's meant to carry your necessities, and whenever you're looking throughout the gameplay footage, you do see people who are wearing bigger backpacks, and the reason I'm getting to this point is you do see his ammo count. This man is burned out on ammo, and he has no more backup.
yeah,
So it's going to be
100%
interesting to
drawing.
see how bringing more ammo works. I did talk about this being a tactical game a few times throughout me being in the GZW Discord. How certain people will have certain roles, and we have kind of seen that within the 23 minutes of the video, where you have your designated marksmen, you have your guy with a big backpack who is carrying probably spare ammo, and you have to branch out your guys for their specialties because it makes the mission easier. Why have a group of guys who are all running the same kit, same gear, that can do everything the same, whenever you can have people who are better in their own parts of the field, and it will allow you to, say, level up your strength faster, or your marksmanship faster, or your medicals faster, because we don't see Mara here carry any medical supplies apart from his bandage and his he dropped something. I'm really gonna have to go back and look at it. He carries his necessities. He wasn't carrying a blood bag. He had to get handed a blood bag. So, and they did talk about there would be specialty roles within the game and how that would go on. And I wonder how that's going to tie with this.
Just one thing that I would like to add that I just thought about. I would like to see the knife used for other things than just pulling out and like stabbing somebody, you know? Like opening crates, certain crates, especially. There's got to be missions where there's mission specific crates. Dude, why not have a cool little animation where you walk up to the crate and you pop that bitch open with a knife? You know?
Oh yeah, or there might be cases where you're cutting wires or something like that. That would be interesting to
stuff
see.
like that. Or like to get into specific locations, you might need to bring wire cutters specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd love to see some implementation with different items like that, where you
Yeah.
need different tools.
Which they still have a lot of way to go. I can't wait to see what else they have with the implementation of tools. I mean, heck, we do see throughout the gameplay footage, everybody's wearing contacts, and everyone has also pointed out that they're not wearing contacts. Or at
Yeah.
least from Mara, because Mara is the only one that we see as inventory throughout the entire time. Anytime you see anyone open their inventory in the 23 minutes, it's been Mara. And we see that he's not wearing contacts, but if you go look through all the footage, you see everyone's wearing contacts. And well, my opinion on that, if you remember in Tarkov how you can double click an item and be able to open up its inventory like the gun, and you can see like there's a specific slot for the scope and stuff. My thought on that is the contacts that they are wearing are helmet specific, and you would be able to do that on the helmet. It's like it's a piece of the helmet, like an attachment,
Yeah.
and it's just not
TC
animated.
TC2000.
Yeah, someone said that TC2000 doesn't have that implementation.
Yeah.
And I'm not disagreeing with them. I think the same thing, and it could just be that they haven't animated it yet, but that's a possibility. We might actually see that in this game, that you have to double click on the game or double click on the helmet and add or remove attachments. Oh, and so one thing I was also pointing out, whenever the helicopter is coming in, you also hear the entire time the helicopter operator is speaking to your squad, informing him of his location, or he's on his way, how long he'll be there, he's almost there, and we're here, come on. If while watching this next few parts, you will notice that, and it's small audio cues, but it's interesting to see.
Yeah.
It's interesting to have it implemented into a game in a real world scenario.
Pause again real quick. So Luna had pointed out at the top right, you have End Expedition.
Mm-hmm.
No idea exactly what that means. And Luna, I'm pretty sure he didn't know exactly what that means. I don't remember exactly the words he said, but for speculation, that's really difficult to speculate on, honestly. Like, what do you think End Expedition is?
So I think that is currently just a placeholder, because it's they don't have the player base that will eventually be on the game, so they have set it up for small servers that aren't ran 24/7 at the moment. They might be. I'm just
like
theorizing
exit
on
server.
this. Yeah, this would be like so they've got a certain section of the map queued up with certain AI and certain loot. Nothing too wild, and that's it. And it's just, this is what's queued up now, and then End Expedition is just a placeholder for specifically them. I don't think that's something we're gonna see in the end game. It might be, but I wouldn't expect to see that unless like you're at a base or something.
perhaps in the expedition is also where they could reset from. Reset expedition. Maybe it's a different click through depending upon what setting you are right now. Maybe that's how they reset every time. I don't know.
It
Is
could
what
be.
it is. But you can continue on.
Okay, yeah, I
I
haven't
just
even
wanted
thought
to
about
touch on
that.
that.
Yeah, it's not something. I'm glad you did. It's not something I've even paid attention to.
Well, thank Luna. He's the one that pointed it out.
Yeah.
Because I never seen that shit.
I wish you would have been here.
Yup. Great animations.
See, I would love to see his inventory now. Oh, yeah, okay. So this is also the interesting thing. So it takes out the mag. We see the ammo count. And one,
SP.
yeah, soft point ammo. He's gonna do something else that I absolutely loved. So not only do you see
Bolt
it's
check.
chambered, but you can tell.
Yeah, chamber check.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see releasing your magazine
moving out.
back into your
ETA,
inventory
1
like
minute.
Tarkov does and reloading it with other ammunition from other magazines.
Mm.
That just has to be in the game.
I believe it will be. I'm gonna back it up here in a bit, but you'll also hear the helicopter pilot radio.
Moving out. ETA, 1 minute. This is Raven arriving shortly near your position.
Yep. Little update.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it on everything I wanted to touch base. I imagine there has been some stuff in there that people have missed. What do you think?
Oh yeah, well, we 100% missed stuff. I can guarantee you. But
Yeah.
for the map, if you want to overlay it after, right here, he's pointing northeast. Right here, we could still see him pointing northeast. And when we were looking at the map, that kind of would confirm that if
No, he was almost pointing due north whenever you open the map. So he opens the map right here, and
okay,
he's
north
like
northeast, about in the middle.
27-ish. There's a big line here, so I know that's 25, but he's almost 30 degrees off true north whenever he opens the map. And so that would be that way. So I could see that being 28 degrees. So that would this would be north up here.
Yeah.
The map's gonna, I'm guessing, always be laid out north top, south bottom.
Yeah. That just kind of confirms that your main base. It just tells me that, like, so we have Bravo right now as our main base. So where he's looking would be more than likely Charlie, unless it goes reverse clockwise. A would be over there, then B, then C on the northwestern portion of the map. But who knows? Who knows if that's even what that means? We'll see. But that's all I got, you know. If you want to put anything else, you know.
No, that was pretty much it for me. I hope everyone has enjoyed the video. Please leave your comments, your suggestions, anything that you have heard, or let me know what you haven't seen that we showcased that you missed in the video. And I can't wait to hear back from you guys. Other than that, y'all have a great time, and I will see you all next time.